The next performer we have coming up is Nicole Tai, who also brought some supporters, clearly. Luscious Tai is a purveyor of the healing, living, and creative arts. A poet since the early age of 7, she has gone on to study and practice yoga, Thai massage, and self-development. This is all on top of being a performer, so maybe you want to see her after the show. She sounds like a good person to know. Bring to the stage, Nicole Tai.
Hello everybody. This is my first performance in a long time, and I'm actually doing something today I thought I'd never do, which is read from my BlackBerry. But it's actually very necessary at this moment. So this first piece is called Love Defined. It's funny how love can become momentary, fleeting, a feeling you profess merely because your heart is beating fast, a feeling you confess sincerely because you believe you want your love to last forever. To some, a valued treasure. Some make associations with pleasures of the flesh, measured by staccato breaths, gasps of air as you grasp for hair, bountiful nests and modest mounds, and bouncing breasts and chests heaving as your pulse pounds a steady soundtrack, and then a disconnect, leaving me with an urgency to protect myself from another's self-serving stealth, until I remind myself that there are those still preserving it quite well, still deserving of its wealth, who generously give, not just to receive it, who do not dwell on unhealthy broken bonds of the past. It can be quite confusing how a beautiful emotion rooted in respect, affection, and devotion can turn into using and abusing, a discombobulated commotion, a perversion, your very own thwarted version. It's funny how love can become ammunition, a strategic master plan to get me in the right position, wrapped around your little finger or your member, got me so wrapped up I can't remember that love would never look like this, have me hanging on a hook like this. So don't tell me that you love me if what you really mean is that you like me. Don't tell me that you're in love if you really mean you might be, because I haven't the time for the slightest oversight, see? I've got my eyes wide open and my heart is on my sleeve. Let's not leave room for confusion, because love is never a delusion. It is only we who delude ourselves, and certain acts are the illusions out of which we craft our lies. And while I understand that there are so many different kinds of love, that this makes love impossible to define, we all have our definitions, and I'll tell you mine. Love is deep, encompassing, rich, and forgiving, the very reason for living, a spiritual connection to another, a projection of perfection, an infectious inflection, a genuine expression pure in origin. Unlike you, I may never say it, but you can most certainly see it when I look into your eyes, an unspoken devotion. You can feel it when my touch lingers, that I mean exactly what my heart feels, profound emotion, and it is real, it is honest, it is kind, and it is vulnerable. I've got my eyes wide open and my heart is on my sleeve. I leave no room for confusion because I do believe in love. So what's interesting is that this is another piece. These two poems are from a collection that I am writing right now called Poems for Former Lovers, and these two poems were actually inspired by the same person. Last night I dreamed in real time, and every moment brought me closer to the kind of love I know that I deserve, the kind of love I battle to preserve. Because last night was not about self-preservation, but rather acting without reservation, flowing freely into inspiration, a co-creation of an ecstatic symphony of deep breaths in synchronicity, and the intentional unspoken repetition of a tantric mantra unto the sky. Last night you brought me closer to the sanctity of my body, to the satisfaction of my hungry spirit, to the sacred union of two into one, seemingly indivisible, visibly moved by the invisible, unable to be poisoned by disbelievers. How often we throw the word love around like we throw away past lovers, but last night I was blessed, and thus I found a kind of love I'd never before allowed myself. Last night I felt I had permission to take a lengthy intermission from the facade that I'd been under for quite some time, and I felt like you were mine, not like a possession or an unhealthy obsession, but like a divine interjection, mind, body, and soul intertwined. And I felt you inside of me, and I felt myself inside of you, and I felt you inside of me, and I wrapped myself around you, and you wrapped yourself around me, and I felt myself inside of you, inside of me, your essence. Last night I dreamed you into me. Thank you.